Okay, so let me go back. So the next step now, you completed this. Once you receive notice that this has been done, you can go ahead and you notice in this case it's create an application. Okay, I know I have one. You have an opportunity also to create pre-application. So if the funding opportunity would have required you to create a pre-application, then the system would have stepped in, asked. The next step would be to create the pre-application once that funding opportunity was approved. Do we have which one's the? Do you know which one's the pre-application? Let me see if I can find one to keep your sample. Okay. This one here. It's the same thing. It's an opportunity that's been approved. Went through the same steps we just went through, but this one happened to have a pre-application. Or see, pre-application needed, yes. Then there's a due date. Oh, we better hurry up because the due date is today. So obviously these dates are not realistic, but the same thing. So you have a scenario where you had one that did not require pre-application, that create application button showed up. This one does require a pre-application, so you have create pre-application. So let's go ahead, follow the steps. We're going to go ahead and create the pre-application. It opens up in edit mode. You know that because you see the save and cancel here. You also see boxes. Outreach. It inherited out. I know we were lazy. We just put the word outreach out there, but I'm adding to it. I'm just showing that I can add to it. So it inherited that project abstract already. I don't really have to do much here. All the fields are pretty much populated. And the setup, this is the budget. Oh. Do you want to have a line item budget or summary budget? So I'm going to go ahead and do line item. And save. And upon saving, you'll probably see the remainder of the tabs displayed. The system works in similar fashion all throughout. You enter something, the system will enable you to enter a few items, then save it so that you can create the record and then be free to work on it at your own pace. So you're not stuck there trying to complete all these tabs in one sitting or overwhelmed with all of them at once. Okay, so the application, once again, the pre-application in this case, very similar to the application. We can find out what the approval process is by simply looking at the top, but also going back to the rows. And notice that in this case, we only have one approver really. It's the admin approver, so that's pretty good. Okay, the budget. Let's just go through the tabs now. Overview was already populated as soon as I entered, right? I can associate a CFDA number, or whatever that number is going to be in the future, because the CFDA numbers are being changed. There are your accounting codes. This was a different opportunity, remember? So it's not the same accounting codes I had inputted. I think I'm all good here. Your accounting codes are displayed on the top too. Okay, so the next tab is your edit tab. Your setup tab, and this is your setup, your budget. So what we need to do is make sure that there's always there will always need to be a grant award task associated to this, or else we can't create the budget. So associate grant award task. Remember, we had mentioned that you don't really need to worry about creating it, where we have a default one out there for you. And I guess it doesn't matter which one I associate. So I just picked like I said, you're only going to have one to pick for in production. And so now we should be able to see, there's the grant award task, good. And you are able to create more than one budget period. We have one budget period here from August 2018 to 2019. The project period, start date, okay, so we know what this project period, it's starting from the 18th to it's a 1-year project, so I cannot create additional budgets. So I'm pretty much done here. So once again, some basic information under overview. Go into the setup tab, associate the grant award task, come to the budget tab. Nothing to do here. Well, let's see. You can enter, sorry, I shouldn't have said nothing. You can enter your budget, your proposed budget. These are, I know at this point in time you may not have an idea of all of them, but for that reason we added that, I believe the summary line for you here, because you said you won't know how to distribute them at this point in time. So you could change that later. So I'm clicking on that. Oh, wait a minute. Then I gotta make sure I save whatever I enter here, and notice that the save button is for the block. You gotta make sure you pay attention to, only in this 2 cases throughout the application, but one of them is right here, where you have this, you're entering the budget and you're inside this block. The save button is right here. You may have another save button on the top. Okay, so I entered that, where you would fill in your budget, and that's it, really. Once a few fields in the overview, assign the grant award task, enter your budget category, enter your budget. I mean, I'm assuming you do that. And then assign the role. I am going to assign. I am going to assign myself, just to show you again the flexibility.